Hello everyone. We just spent some time looking at project management for a single project. In fact, for a company, it may have numerous projects. So let's take a look at organizational project management. As for organizational project management, it's not as complex as you might think. It really just involves multiple projects. We'll have many projects, along with some operational aspects. Project operations, some of these projects may be grouped together, while others may form a project portfolio. These projects share the same company resources and may also have some common stakeholders. We are talking about the same group of people working on these projects. So when undertaking these projects, let's talk about organizational project management. We won't get into it in this video, but it's good to have a basic understanding. It focuses managing multiple projects together as a group. So there's a term here. One is project management, which has a project manager in charge of a single project. And there's also a program manager. They're in charge of project-level management. There's also a portfolio manager. They oversee the management of project portfolios. That means combining multiple projects into a portfolio. In practice, this type of portfolio management may sometimes extend to overseeing operational aspects. Although when it comes to operations, once a project goes live, a dedicated operations manager takes over. But we might all fall under this kind of organizational level project management. Let's talk about these three roles. Let's get to know them briefly. As for project management, it mainly focuses on matters within the project. Because we know when tackling a task, it's hard to just address issues as they come, like quick fix. And that's definitely a problem. Generally speaking, for any project, if you manage its scope well, its scope won't just expand randomly. It prevents scope creep. This helps with timeline management. The quality improves as well. This can lead to better cost control and keeps costs down. Project management focuses on the project itself, managing its internal dependencies. As for program management, what's its main function? In other words, there could be multiple projects, and between these projects, there might be some interdependencies. If we group them together as a set and manage them this way, we can achieve a synergistic effect. Take the Beidou system, for example. You need a satellite launching system, ground station systems, and data processing systems. If we integrate all of these, managing them as a project set, it's essentially a grouping of related projects. This collective approach is more effective than individual projects. The third type is portfolio management. So what concept does portfolio management introduce? When we undertake projects, it's all to achieve the company's strategic goals. By achieving these strategic goals one by one, we can ultimately realize the company's vision. Therefore, our projects must align with these strategic goals. Our aim is to fulfill the company's strategic goals. These may involve managing numerous projects essentially. As you may have heard, some real estate companies also venture into soccer projects. These different strategic goals they aim to achieve with these projects. These projects may or may not be related, or they may be completely unrelated. However, these projects are evaluated based on certain methods or standards to assess them. So they are assessed in some way. Thus, a priority ranking of the projects is established. Why is this ranking necessary? Actually, the concept of a portfolio can also be understood this way. A company has limited resources and utilizes these limited resources to create as much value as possible. This value includes tangible assets, intangible ones. To obtain this value, we might rank these various projects and rank them accordingly. After ranking, we allocate funds accordingly. So portfolio management, in a sense, utilizes this ranking process to optimize resource allocation. We allocate resources to project A, project B, or to other projects to get the most value. That's portfolio management. So portfolio management has a few key points. One is to achieve the company's strategic goals and manage them collectively. As for projects themselves, they might not have dependencies on each other. We'll certainly use some methods to rank these projects in some way, then make some optimal choices, selecting those with a comparative advantage to manage them together as a portfolio. And one more thing, portfolio management is a dynamic process. It doesn't mean that at the outset of a project, we conduct portfolio management once and we're done. That's not the case. As the process unfolds, we also need to monitor these projects and maintain control over them, adjusting resources as needed, and coordinating efforts. We allocate resources to more promising projects. Next, let's look at the overall organizational management. Do you really need to pay attention to it? As a junior project manager, in a way, you might not need to focus on it. But I do have some advice for you. Here's what we should do. think and act proactively. That means anticipating your boss's needs and addressing their concerns. And of course, do your own job well. Employees who do this will have more opportunities. Employees, we typically manage projects. Projects focus on their deliverables, getting them done right, and delivering them successfully. Whether it's about delivering these results or delivering at the project level, that's all part of our job. But sometimes we can also think one step ahead. Take, for example, portfolio management. In portfolio management, we're really looking at how we set the rules to prioritize projects. What factors do we consider when prioritizing projects, right? What do these factors depend on? As we've said, our project should align with the company's strategy, staying consistent, aligning with the company's strategy. So different company strategies lead to different combinations. Different factors to consider will vary. The value decisions will also differ. So we can work with the boss, understand the company's strategic goals, and even the broader vision, then consider those goals. We might better understand why the company would pick project A over project. So you understand the project portfolio. And typically, when we do all this, it actually costs money. It all costs money. You've spent a lot of money and done a lot of work. So how do you make money in the end? It should be delivered to the client. We deliver it to the client. That's when we make money. Another way is through the projects we undertake. We put it into operation. During operation, it will generate commercial value. Of course, this value includes both tangible and intangible benefits. In fact, the commercial value generated through operation will in turn help us improve. By analyzing these commercial values, we assess their worth and the impact of the business. This in turn influences our approach to portfolio management and may even shape the company's strategic direction. Some minor adjustments may be made. So organizational project management, what does it focus on? It's about ensuring we achieve the company's future. A strategic goal like this, to align our project portfolio, the knowledge of project-level management, to drive the project forward. What we need to do is, we need to think beyond our roles while staying on task to better drive these projects. To ease your leader's workload, you'll have more opportunities. In fact, this is all about our organization. Operating within a single environment